Reserve here, round number 1 of the 2018 Eastern Footy League season between Vermont and Balwyn. Whale, Buxton and Balwyn do battle in the ruck. Balwyn cross now, gets the hand pass out, shaking the tackle there was Gilchrist. He pumps one in towards the half-forward line. Haley giving chase to the footy. It bounces above him and Carey. Haley did well to win the footy back, almost got one up high, and we'll have a ball up here on the half-forward flank.
Vermont have probably put their best backman, Lachlan Carey, onto Haley, try and stem his influence.
So here comes the ball now inside, a hand pass out, good evasion there from Fisher. His kick was smothered though, back the other way comes Balwyn. Cross gets the hand pass out, but it's intercepted, and back now that man, Tyson Himes, and he is forced over the boundary line there by Cam Burns, and we'll have yet another boundary throw in. Just in front of the Vermont interchange bench, in front of our broadcast position, just over a minute, under a minute played here out at Vermont Recreation Reserve. In comes the throw now. Whale Buxton wins the tap again, and play appeals for a throw, I believe, and we'll have a ball up.
So tight tussle early in this last quarter, and so much on the line, just a 2-point game. It might be the first game of the season for these two sides, but they know how important it is. The two great rivals as Vermont look to go forward, but it's cut off nicely. Picked up there as Balwyn tried to attack. Gilchrist was in there. In fact, it was Gilchrist, but he couldn't get his hands on it. Vermont for the moment. That's Fisher. Now the long kick down the line. Can they hit a target? That's got to be a free kick, surely. I think so. Aidan Kennedy was all over the...
The umpire saw it.
In fact, he's given it the other way. That's bizarre. I thought Aidan Kennedy...
Well, that was because I think the Vermont guy was actually had his arm around Kennedy and tried to drag him down.
Usually the retaliator that gets...
Always happens.
Now they go long, inside 50, looking for a target. Going up there, but the mark not taken. Good work in there by Goebbels. Knocked it forward, and it's a goal!
Rennie Gilchrist.
It was Goebbels who went up for... We'll just watch the replay here because there was nothing really going on. It was bouncing around. Goebbels, you watch as he gets the tap on, and it all just happened a bit quick, but Rennie Gilchrist has put it through, and what a start for Balwyn as they get it to a 4-point lead. It's 12-6, 78-11, 74. Balwyn back in front.
Well, great. This game keeps swinging both ways, but as we've seen all afternoon, it's been goal for goal, and just 4 points to margin here at Vermont Recreation Reserve. 2.5 played as Whale Buxton goes up into the ruck again. One down by Balwyn. Cross trying to do the roving. Gilchrist gets it to O'Regan, and he kicks one up towards the half-forward flank. Contested footy. Good work over the top there from McCafferty. And he affects the spoil, and it'll go over the boundary line.
Sometimes Whale Buxton's rucking actually is putting his on-ballers out of position by turning his body the opposite way to where they are, and that's going to an open area where they're not there.
And well, the Eagles managed to spear one forward, but it's chopped off there by the Tigers, and it comes through centre, trying to force his way through. There was Staples diving in there. Oh, almost got one in the back. There did Wilson. As the ball on the deck by players flying in. Staples swats it forward out of the centre square. Himes in pursuit of the footy. Did well to gather that one in. Gets wrapped up there by Manuel. And we've got a free kick. And, well, it's going to be for holding the ball. Tregear gives his man a shot. And... well, it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this from the umpire. Free kick, nothing coming out of that.
Well,
so anyway, the kick up towards centre wing. Plenty of players flying. One of them's Whale Buxton. Good mark over a pack. He moves the footy quickly now here to Carey. Spears one in towards the centre square. Almost over his man going back with the flight. There was Parker. And he goes back and assesses the action upfield. Pumps one in towards the half-forward line. Here comes the kick. Great mark over the top. Well, not paid in the end. As this one moved out now to the... over the boundary line in.
Well, I don't know why that wouldn't have been paid a mark, because it didn't look like what's touched off the boot for mine.
Yeah. I tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing we just cut away before we got the end of that replay, but Tregear, that could have got him in a bit of trouble there, but the umpire obviously didn't see it, and we'll play on. But this looked a little bit unsavoury as we wait for the throw-in. Whale Buxton wrestling there with Baglava. Is McComb on the ground, taking a strong tackle.
Bit of a sticky pronunciation there, Brett. had to get one Greek dessert in by orders of media manager.
Take it away, Steve, will you? As the ball goes up, and it's Whale Buxton who gets the knockdown. Sorry about all the terrible puns this afternoon. The ball goes inside, but it's not marked. There's McComb in there again, as it's hacked forward. bit of pushing and shoving there, but the umpire lets it go, as you'd expect. Now they kick across field, and Vermont have got their hands on it, and they finally decide just to settle it down. It was just a bit frantic there, and they just need to steady down, which they're going to do.
Now they're probably giving it to the best kick in the side.
Absolutely. Lockie Johns, the captain of Vermont this year. He'll be kicking, I reckon he'll be outside 50, but he's got a good boot on him, so you'd probably back him to get the distance. It'd just be the accuracy. Here he comes. He's going to be kicking just on 50, maybe a fraction outside. He's hit it to the, just coming up short. Can they get it over the line, ball? And they'll be dead keen to kill this. And I think it's Ainger who's in there wrestling for the ball. And the umpire says we'll have a ball up in a very dangerous position. So Vermont, they could steal the lead back if they can score here. Up it goes, here's Ainger again wrestling for the ball. Comes out across the half-back line. There's Himes again taken to the ground. Good tackle. Once again, the mandatory cries of holding the ball from the spectators, and the ball is out of bounds. We've had, this game seems to have just rocketed through in time-wise. It's been such a good game. We've already had 6 minutes in this final quarter. As the ball comes in, it's Baklava getting the tap, but Vermont have got it as they swing it in field, trying to get a clear shot on goal. Great hands. Now Johns it is at least. Johns gets it. Oh, mark is taken.
Eddie.
It's Eddie, big Eddie. He's had a fair game too.
Well, he's had limited opportunities because I think Balwyn, even though Rodney Eade said that they weren't really going to put any time into him, they have put time into him because he's had very little influence. He's probably only touched the ball 5 or 6 times. Yeah, it might have been a bit of coach's talk there as the kick is on its way. He's missed it.
And he's missed it. Well, that's a shocking miss. Really should have done better there.
Oh,
in fact, it's a goal.
Really? Gee.
Not listening to you again, Brash. I was going off you there, but the reaction behind the post even seemed weird. The umpire went right over to one side, but then came back and he's given the goal as we go boundary side with Tim Fitzsimons.
Yeah, just during that play, Jared Churgwin for Balwyn came off with a leg injury. He had to be helped off by both trainers. Looked at a lot of discomfort. I doubt we'll see him again today.
So Brett Eddie has his 3rd goal of the day. He's starting to become a little bit of a headache.
Might have rolled an ankle then.
And it's Vermont back in front. What a seesaw struggle it's been. It's a 2-point game as they Balwyn win the tap out in the middle. Back in the hands of Vermont though as they get, it's a high kick and it's taken nicely there by Fisher. He's had a fair game too. He gets it forward. It's a bobby old kick.
You're not going to keep parking there, are you? Thank you.
We've got a rather large van that's decided to just drive past our commentary box. Not the best place to park. On the ground, ball comes out. Tell you what, it is desperate in there. Trying to get his hands on it was Whale Buxton. And in the end, we'll have a ball up. So 2-point difference. We've had nearly 8 minutes played.
It's a great game. It's been a great game because you'd think both these sides are playing off for the last spot in round 18 for a finals position, isn't it?
Certainly would. It's got that sort of intensity. It's taken out of the middle by Vermont. They get a scrubby old kick forward inside 50. Where's it gone? It's in the hands of Fraser. Fraser gets it away, and then it's the kick from Balwyn as they try desperately to get it out. Knocked on, I think that was Fraser again, and it's off hands and it's gone out of bounds over on the far side.
He's probably lucky not to get pinged there because there was really no intention to keep the ball in. He just thought he patted out of bounds.
It was Wilson the offender on that occasion as Whale Buxton and Wen go at it in the ruck. So no clear victor in that encounter. It's swatted out now here to Parker, goes by hand. Looking for the intended target there was Schneider, goes by hand again now. Good hand kick in here by Purdy. It's a high floater, taken in front almost by Ellis. Picked out now here by Balwyn, and Cross pumps this one out towards centre wing. The flyer out there was Fisher. He couldn't take the mark for Vermont, but they get the ball anyway and kick it right back in towards the forward line. Plenty of players flying from the side. Well, Buxton couldn't take the mark. He gets it back onto his foot and puts it out on the full. And, well, danger averted there for Balwyn. 2 points the margin here, nearly halfway through regulation time. 9.5 minutes played here in the final term. The kick in short finds Kennedy.
Had to be good, that kick.
Kennedy swings this one wide. Had quite the duel with Angel this afternoon. As a kick off, Wallace spoiled his own man. Cross coming in there for Balwyn and just sees it out over the boundary line.
Probably not enough talk there because Vermont actually had that extra player at the bottom of the pack and couldn't affect the clearance.
So boundary throw in, far side, forward pocket now here for Vermont. Wen and Whale Buxton. Wen wins that encounter. Cross tries to burst through, gets a hand pass out. Manuel tries to soccer it off the ground. Loose footy. Stays on the right side of the boundary line just for a second as Bain sees it over for Balwyn. And another boundary throw in. 10 minutes played now here in the fourth term, excuse me. As this one, a 2-point margin between the Vermont Footy Club and the Balwyn Tigers. As in comes the throw now. Wen wins this one over. Handball by Green. Greenwell, excuse me, the kick there from Wallace, and that's out on the full. And we'll have a, no, it's smothered. Okay, touched as it went out, so we'll have a boundary throw in.
All right, so boundary throw in, the margin still 2 points in favour of Vermont. And it goes. Well, Buxton trying to get the front spot, but I think he was marginally beaten that time, the tap. And it's going to go inside 50. Can someone get a mark? Oh, it's McComb. Is it McComb? No, it's Himes. In fact, it's neither of those. It's Mars. Just saw the blonde hair. And a good mark taken there by Aidan Kennedy, one of the newbies for the Balwyn side this year. Good player.
I think Balwyn would be happy with his output today.
Yeah, he's played well as the
He's done all right.
Not such a good kick that time, though, as it goes right across halfback and it goes out of bounds. In jest, we were talking about the game at three-quarter time, and I called the draw, and I tell you what, I didn't really mean it, but 80 to 78, who knows? It's been that sort of game.
It's going to be hard enough picking 3-2-1 today.
It's a bit of a go with a draw, but I tell you what, stranger things have happened.
Gav Casey would be claiming it.
Of course he would.
Just remember where you heard it first if it happens.
Unfortunately, the boundary umpire needs another rethrow.
Yes, a bit of a false start. So, well, Buxton is there. Here it goes. Well, Buxton again gets the tap. Great work in there by
That's holding
the ball. It was Eddie that came bursting out of the pack with the ball, but he was taken on a good tackle. And the umpire says free kick to Balwyn so they can work it out of their danger area. Long kick downfield, looking for a target. Oh, that might be a free kick as well.
Yeah.
The crowd not happy. It was Baglava that went up for the ball, but he did so illegally according to the umpire. So Whale Buxton wheels onto his left foot, goes inside 50, trying to find a target, but there's more Balwyn players back there than there is Vermont players, and they'll knock it out of bounds.
Actually, I reckon over the balance of things, he's had a pretty good game, Whale Buxton, in the ruck.
Oh, he has, absolutely.
Yeah,
No,
he's taken on 2 or 3 guys, and he's still going.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He must have a very big tank, Brash. You'd know him better than we do. As the ball comes in, Whale Buxton got another tap. He's McComb. Hooks the ball back inside, kicking around his body. How hard is that to do? And very nearly a mark taken there as well. But it's going to be rebounded by Balwyn. They need to get this out. It's not a great kick though, and it's going to come back.
This bloke's had a good game too, Joey Fisher off half-back flank.
He has indeed. Fisher's been tremendous, but he almost got caught there, but he got the ball away, but he may get it back. No. I tell you what, it is frantic out there. Absolutely frantic. Preto. Crowd is screaming just about every time there's a bit of play for a holding the ball or a push in the back or something. Now a chance for Balwyn to rebound. Here's the short kick, but it's an awful kick, and Preto's got it back again, second time in about 30 seconds. Now they've got a chance to go inside 50. Can they hit a target this time? Where's the big boys? Up they go.
Oh, what a mark.
Claiming the mark. I reckon it was...
I tell you what,
I reckon it was hands.
Yeah, I tell you what, I reckon someone else might have had dibs on that before he took it.
As we watched the replay, there were 2 Balwyn players here, and I think in fairness, I think there was
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
well,
I think
looked good at full speed. We'll claim it. We'll give it to him.
that was definitely a hometown decision, but Buxton.
Hey, but I didn't give it.
Whale Buxton. Brash has paid the umpires off. Here's Whale Buxton. He'd probably back him to kick this. And he has. Umpire looks above his head, but only to see as the ball sails over. And I tell you what, this is one of the best games you will see as Vermont edge themselves just a little bit further away. Whale Buxton gets the goal. 13-8-86 plays 12-6-78 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard as we go boundary side with Tim Fitzsimons.
Yeah, just in this last quarter, Balwyn are really struggling to get multiple possessions together. Vermont's pressure on the ball carriers has been outstanding and hasn't allowed them to get it really past halfway for the majority of the quarter.
I'll be interested, Tim, to see how many fit blokes have Balwyn got on the bench.
They've got 3. I'm pretty sure.
So restart here, 14 and a half played. Knocked down by Baglava, but the kick, well, almost a kick there from Parker. Crumb's taken there by Cross. He kicks one in towards the forward line. Couldn't take the mark, could win. It's mopped up here by Vermont, by McCafferty. He goes by hands to here to Carey, and he pumps one in towards centre half forward. Great mark over the top. That one was clean that time by Whale Buxton. He turns around and pumps one in towards the forward line. It's a contested 40. Almost a mark there by Eddie. And here comes the 40. It's in! A believe that was Preto that kicked it. Just didn't see what happened. It was so fast as we have a look at the replay. There's the mark there, attempted there by Eddie. I believe.
I think it was
No,
It was Preto.
It's number 31.
Yeah, it's
Preto.
McComb was there, but it was definitely Preto that got the kick. Well spotted, Steve.
So Preto gets his first of the afternoon, and the Vermont Footy Club starting to run away with the game. 5 minutes remaining in regulation time, and it is 14-8-92, plays 12-6-78.
I still think there's something. I still reckon there's something left in this game.
So
it's not over yet.
Up it goes. It's a 14-point margin, so you'd have to think that Balwyn would need to get the next goal probably, as the ball is taken out there by Whale Buxton out of the middle. Going in there, it's Balwyn who get possession though. Handball over the top, nicely done. Haley tries to get out of the tag. I tell you what, the Vermont faithful have really come to life. They are feeling him screaming, and the mark is taken. It's Wallace, I think Paddy Wallace, he took the mark. Now they go into the inside 50. And a great kick though. Ball spills clear. McComb, it's there. He's had a fantastic game. I reckon he'd be close to one of the best players today, Robbie McComb. Johnny on the spot. It was all a bit scrappy. I looked for a moment as the ball had got their hands on the ball, but it spilled away, and Robbie McComb on the left boot bangs it through, and well, do we go early? I think we almost might say.
No, can't go early.
20-point margin. It's going to be tough for Balwyn to come back from this.
Well, I mean, look, Balwyn were 18 points down. They kicked 3 quick goals. Don't write them off just yet, because they'll keep coming.
Let's go boundary side, Tim Fitzsimons.
Yeah, it looks like Balwyn have only got 2 fit players on the bench. We haven't seen Ryan Penderbury after half-time when he went into the rooms just late in that second quarter. So they're going to be pretty tough to get back into this game.
Manuel spears one in towards the full forward line. A bouncing footy. Good tackle applied there by Purdy. Ball jars a fray, and here come the Vermont Eagles off their back line as here comes Wadley now down the near side. Just kicks this one in towards the half forward line. Spoiled over the top and out over the boundary line. Good effort there from Shane Tregear.
Tell you what, the way Vermont ran that ball out of the back line, they were pretty impressive. They're starting to run on top of the ground here, gents.
We talked about that before, didn't we, about the fitness being that it is the first game of the season.
Yep.
17 minutes played. Whale Buxton and Baglava. The latter wins the footy. Gilchrist on the ground, can't get the ball out. Comes out now here to McCafferty. Shakes one, shakes two, kicks one up in towards centre half forward. Plenty of players there. The fly there was Eddie, but the steady hands there was Tregear. And he takes the mark here, and a crucial one here for the Tigers. Swings one out now here to O'Regan with a bit of time and space there out on the wing. He kicks one out now in towards the forward flank in the direction of Goebbels. Did well to take that one on the bounce. Evades his tackler there in Purdy. Did well, did Goebbels, and he spears a kick in towards the Haley direction over his head. McCafferty provides the assistant there for the Eagles. Staples loses it. Gilchrist gathers it. His kick was smothered. It's a loose footy inside the forward line here for Balwyn. They win it eventually, and it's through. Didn't see who got the kick up that.
Yeah, I did. I think it's number.
Wasn't Rennie Gilchrist. I think that was Barker.
No, it's number 2. Yeah, Luke Barker.
Luke Barker got the goal, and well, that is a pivotal score there for the Balwyn Tigers. And they move to 13-6-84. They trail Vermont 15-8-98. 18 minutes played here, final term.
I have to say, it's been a great last quarter. Well, Buxton's gone to another level in this last quarter. He's taken control in the ruck, and he's feeding Vermont's midfield with every opportunity he can.
So Luke Barker probably hasn't had as a bigger influence as he would have liked, but he does get a vital second goal, or his second goal. And it's just given Vermont, it got Balwyn back in the game as they win the ball. They go inside 50, but it's going to be cut off there. It wasn't a great kick, and there was no one there, and it's been cut off, and they'll have a chance to rebound. The kick out to halfback finds Wadley. He's been one of Vermont's best today. He's played really well. Taking an age. Probably just happy to slow it down, Vermont, truth be told, because they are in front. So 14-point margin. It's
good mark.
Ball, and they have to make the play. Great grab there. Taken by Edie. He's another that's really come into his own in this final quarter, and probably even in the second half.
What's he going to do here?
I think he's going to just centre it.
So he should.
Thought for a moment he was having a look at the post. The kick goes in. It's not marked. Bouncing around as they... Oh, that's brilliantly played. I think it was Pendlebury that got the hand pass away. Just showing his class. And here's a chance now for them to come forward. Them being Balwyn, of course, Fraser. Handball infield. This is better from Balwyn. They really need to score from this entry, you would think, to have any chance at all.
Great fist.
A terrific spoil going across there.
McCafferty again.
McCafferty it was.
No, it was Carey.
Carey, okay.
Carey at least. Not listening to you anymore, Steve. You're putting me crook all the time.
Yeah, that's right. Good workman never blames his tools, mate.
So he's talking about putting one under the bus.
So throw it on the far side. Oh dear.
Bain,
it is. He has the snap.
and he's kicked it.
And he's got it. He has got it once again, pretty much a goal just out of nothing. It was a messy piece of play. The throw-in came in, it was just bouncing around. It got back to Bain, and he just took his opportunity. He had to kick that, and he just said to give it to me, and he's put it through once again. Just when we thought, at least when I thought.
Yeah.
I went a little bit early, and Balwyn have come back again. It's 15-8-98, playing 14-6-90 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and we've had 20 minutes, so we're into time on.
So an 8-point footy game here. Don't go anywhere on Radio Eastern 98.1 or streaming around the globe on efl.org.au as the restart from the centre. Ainger now into the ruck now here for Vermont. The forward footy one down there. John's got the hand pass out wide. It found Preto. He gets a hand pass over the top back to Ainger. He goes by hand in turn now here to Greenwood. He kicks in towards the half forward line and evades everyone. In a foot race there is Colopy, and he can't beat the ball over the boundary line, and we'll get a boundary throw in.
Yeah, that was poor disposal into that forward 50 there by Greenwood. Should have hit a target.
So Whale Buxton getting a bit of a reprieve in the ruck. Baglava versus Ainger. We're into added time now here in this fourth quarter. Cross just puts a high up and under. Gilchrist is under it, as is McCafferty. Neither can take the mark. The ball's loose on the ground and then gathered in, and we'll have a ball up right on the half forward line here for Vermont. As Baglava drives up, Ainger over the top. Cross did well to get that out to the wing area as we kick this in towards centre wing in the direction of Goebbels. Had to deal with two Vermont players, and the ball fisted over the boundary line. Bain can't gather it in, and we'll have yet another boundary throw in centre wing right in front of the scoreboard side here at Vermont Recreation Reserve in Tarara Road. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you may be listening or watching this one from. Is Ainger now fist this one down. In pursuit there was Manuel. Beaten to the footy, and the kick, well, almost beaten over there by Fraser, but seen over eventually by Eddie. Right on the half-forward flank here for Vermont.
Sorry, Brush.
4 goals to 3. I'd still reckon there might be a good 5 to 6 minutes left in this game.
And 8 points in it too. 22 minutes played so far here in this final term.
I tell you, Brush, I'm with you too with a 3-2-1. It's going to be very, very difficult today.
Picked up by Cross, had a few touches in the last couple of minutes, and it's pumped forward now here by Balwyn in towards the forward line. Going back with the flight there is Purdy. He did well to take that one on the bounce. Handball over the top there to Carey, streaming in there, and was Roach, and he just couldn't take it. And it goes over the boundary line. Boundary throw in, half forward flank now for Balwyn. One would think they've got to get the next goal.
Gee, wouldn't it be interesting if they did?
Bresh is going to have to get his pacemaker adjusted if they do. 23 minutes played. It is 98-90. And what price the ball and getting the next goal, but it's Vermont at the moment who go into attack. If they get the next goal, you'd have to think that it's all over. I know I said that before, but this time it'll be definite. So ball comes out on the ground. Vermont go in there. They're a little bit hungry around the ball. Good tackle on the ground. The umpire says we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. It was might have been Caney. I think he was trying to get rid of it on the ground, but he was well and truly wrapped up, and the umpire says we'll throw it up. So we've had 23 minutes. We may have, who knows, possibly another 7-8 minutes to go in this quarter, so there's still plenty of time. Nice work by Balwyn as they try to work it out off half-back. It's a bit of a strange old kick, but it's going to work out for them. Goes right across the face of goal. Is a little bit dangerous, but they take the mark. And an opportunity to work it out of the danger area. This next kick will be a big one. Nicely done. Here they come rebounding off half-back. Kick down the line, looking for the target. Oh, very nearly a mark. It was a brilliant, would have been a brilliant mark, but it's been rebounded now, and it's in the hands of McCafferty. Bit of a Hail Mary handball over the top. Well, Buxton was in the vicinity, but he can't get hands on it. That might be a, no, it's going to say it might be a high tackle, but the umpire says play on, and here they come again, Balwyn. Where's Goebbels as the ball comes inside? Mark not taken. There's plenty of defenders back there, including McCafferty again. On the ground, they try and kill it. Vermont just happy to get it over the boundary line, and they do. Just in the forward pocket, or near the forward pocket.
What a second effort that was by Goebbels. Didn't take the mark, laid the tackle there on Schneider, and forced the mistake.
So umpire to throw it back in. This is a vital clearance. They need to win this. Ball, when you would think they get the hit out, and they win the clearance, but it's not really a decisive one. On the ground again. Vermont just happy to get it down the other end. They don't really care how they do it, as long as they can just get it away. It's Balwyn's to win at the moment. They've got to come from behind. And the ball goes out of bounds. Or is there a free kick? Out of bounds, so we'll have a throw-in. So 98 plays 90. We've had 25 minutes last quarter on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So 8 points the margin, as you just heard, as here comes the boundary throw. Wen back into the ruck against Whale Buxton has been the story of the afternoon, as Wadley gets wrapped up without it. Plans want a free kick. Play continues. Here's a foot race now here for Vermont. Evading a couple of tackles. Parker Hyams gets seen over the boundary line and almost into the fence there by O'Regan. And we'll have a boundary throw-in right in front of our broadcast position here at Vermont Recreation Reserve.
Tell you what, it's been willing even for the umpires this afternoon. They've had to cool a lot of the players' jets out there because it's been getting pretty willing.
Indeed it has, and here comes the boundary throw just inside the 50. Whale Buxton swats it cross, can't take it. It's taken now here by Johns. We've got one up high. Whale Buxton grabs it and pumps one up and towards the centre square. It's a high up and under, comes down with snow on it. No one can take the mark. Taken away, though, here by Burns for Balwyn. Balwyn now pumped the footy back in towards centre half forward in the direction there of Goebbels coming in from the side. Was Whale Buxton affected the spoil and is pumped out now here by Lockie Johns into the centre square. Gathered in well, though, there by Eddie. Moves in. Kennedy, excuse me, his kick avoids everyone on the snap, and it's a minor score. Well, that was a great take on the fly there from Kennedy. Pumped the footy back in, but they come up just with the minor score to Balwyn, and that closes the margin just to 7 points. 15-8-98 Vermont lead Balwyn 14-7-91, 26 minutes gone.
Geez, imagine if that had gone through, boys. It would have been all on for young and old, but at the moment, Vermont still have that cushion, that more than a kick cushion, as they bring the ball out. Long kick downfield, Balwyn, and it's knocked out of bounds.
Whale Buxton again.
Whale Buxton again coming over the top.
So what, he's putting his name up today, isn't he, Buxton?
Yep. Certainly has, particularly in the second half. It's been a great duel with the ruckman from Balwyn, particularly
Gwen.
Gwen, yep. Ben, what's his name?
Wen, Michael Wen.
That's him. There it is again, coming out of the ruck. Nice work by Balwyn. That is by Vermont again, and it's out of bounds. So we've had 27 minutes. At the moment, it's still more than a kick, so Balwyn must score, you would think, in the next 60 seconds to have a chance, and they're taking an awful long time to get the ball forward. They really just have to...
It's like a kick and hope there.
It is a bit of a Hail Mary, and it's beautifully marked. Whale Buxton again.
He's got to be the best man on the ground now, and he's had a great game. He really has stood up.
Well, he's battled away on the ruck, largely single-handedly as well. But
well, you just put the mock.
That is the Moz, because he's just set one into row. Gee, that's 6. Someone tell him the cricket season's finished. So, Balwyn, they're chipping it. Oh, that's an awful kick, but it's probably going to work out. In fact, they might be holding the ball. They just got the kick away. Cross it was, he got the kick away. Here's McComb. He took a heavy hit, Robbie McComb. Now they go forward inside 50. This has to be a mark.
No, he's dropped it.
Oh, he's dropped it. Was it Goebbels? No, can't quite see, but it was in his hands for a moment, and he had it, and then he lost it. Or was it?
Looks like it was Tommy Davis.
Tommy Davis.
Yeah.
And he looks disappointed, too, because he knows how important that was. Up it goes again. Here's the tap down. Balwyn get hands on it, but in fact it's come. No, it's still there for Balwyn. They go inside 50. This
out in the fall.
It's out in the fall. I was going to say they could do with a boundary throw, and if this had bounced out, it would have been a good result, but it went out all right. But on the fall, so that's 6 more. Now Vermont bring it back in. Long kick down the flank, over the top. Now, high tackle, surely. Holding the ball.
Well, I'll tell you what, if there was ever a crowd free kick and the umpires decide to pay it, he did at the 29-minute mark of the last quarter.
Poor old Liam Fraser. I'd be keen to see the replay because I thought he almost lost his head, but the umpire said holding the ball. Taken there by Wadley, and that might be out on the fault, surely. Balwyn plays, no.
He isn't.
The Balwyn players are screaming at the umpire.
I'll tell you what.
It's hometown decisions now, I tell you. Here's Ainger. He will be a contender for
I reckon that's out in the full too.
Best on ground, and that is also out on the full.
Tell you what, they're hugging that boundary line real good, aren't they?
Goodness gracious.
So with nearly 30 minutes played here in this final term, to bring the ball back in is Pendlebury. He punts one up towards centre wing. Ainger is one of the flyers. Davis over the top, couldn't take the mark. Balwyn managed to get the foil away, and that's going to be holding the ball. Bain pinged there. Great tackle from Schneider. And he's just going to go back and chew it up. Well, Buxton's screaming for it. Well, where on the ground hasn't he been today?
This is where you bomb the ball to the square.
Schneider just decides to go in short. And, well, eating up another 10 seconds or so as it's in the hands here of Adam Parker. He got one in the first term. And a little bit of kick to kick here. That wasn't 15. Play on. Here's Parker now. Kicks one in towards the full forward line. Plenty of players there. It's over the top of most of them. Gathered in almost there by Eddie, and it's gone over the boundary line.
Tell you what, that was a bit of a mungle-breaking finger punt there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a what, Brash?
That one's making the reel for 2018.
No, I just wanted to hear him say it again.
So 30 and a half gone. 7-point margin. The Eagles still in front.
So even the boundary umpire's getting tired now. He can't throw the ball in properly.
Give it to someone in the crowd.
Give him a break. He's had to run his heart out today, poor bloke.
So in comes take two of that boundary throw in.
And he's still...
It's gone short again. Whale Buxton over the top. O'Regan gets it around the body. Schneider can't keep it in. And, well, time expiring here. Nearly 31 minutes played as Charlie Haley.
Yeah, I wouldn't think there'd be too much more now.
No, as Haley is, as we talked about all game, being one of the best players on the ground here for Balwyn.
I know the head timekeeper over there. Why aren't you blowing the siren?
Brash is on the phone. He's calling him.
31 minutes played as in comes the boundary throw. Baglova tried to back fist that one out, went through Lockie Johns' feet, and over the boundary line it goes.
Well, I suppose when the ball keeps going out of bounds, you're blowing time off, aren't you?
Yeah, well, Tim Fitzsimon's going to get ready to throw the ball in now, I think.
Not with those spindly little arms, he's not.
That sounds like fighting words. There's a 7 points game with 31 minutes played, and it's nearly 32. Bain couldn't get the hand pass out. It's a loose footy, socket off the deck, and that one was inside. And we'll have another boundary throw in, and I think the Vermont faithful all looking at their watches.
Well, they've probably been looking at their watches for the last 2 minutes.
as one Wayne Brasher.
So the umpire to throw it in. It's been a very messy, fast 5 minutes, but it'll suit Vermont because they're just trying to get the clock to wind down. No more scoring will suit them very nicely as the ball goes out into centre field, but they may even get one themselves. On the boot, long kick forward. Trying to get his hands on it there was Eddie, who's been one of the best for Vermont today. Ball goes inside 50 towards the boundary line, and it's over. And there it is. That'll do us. There is the siren. And I'll tell you what, it's been a fantastic contest out here today between two of the glamour sides of this competition. And it's Vermont, the home side, much to the delight of their very parochial crowd this afternoon. They've got up 15-8-98 over Balwyn's 14-7-91. Steve White, pretty interesting game.
Seesawing back and forth game. Great one to start the season for both clubs, but I think I'd have